Yo, yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Dr. Jordan Seda coming to you live from NYC. Are you ready to go to health and back? All right, let's get it. What it do, everyone? I'm back again for another wonderful episode. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for continuing to show love and listening to my podcast. It makes me want to keep doing this. And today we have a really cool guest. I'm actually meeting him for the first time, just like many of you. Um, but this guest comes highly recommended. People wanted him, so I got him. I can't say it was that difficult to get him, but eventually he caved in. So without further ado, my big brother, Dean Seda. Dean, what's going on?
Hey everybody! Woo! Yeah, give it up for Dean! Woo! Uh, Doing great. Been wanting to be on the podcast for a few months, and I had to wait on a very long line in order to get a spot on your show. So very appreciative of your time.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're my brother and all doesn't mean you get to skip the line. We don't skip lines in life, so why skip lines on my podcast?
I agree. And it's also the first time I'm ever seeing you before, so this is a unique experience.
Yeah, I already used that one, so you're gonna have to try to be a little bit more clever here. But I'm not just bringing Dean on here because he's my brother. I'm bringing Dean on here because he's accomplished quite a bit, and I wanted him to share a little bit of his experience with you all because I think his path is a unique one, and there's been a lot of learning, a lot of positive vibes being shared with the world. So, Dean, tell us a little bit about what you're up to right now.
Yeah, so right now I work for myself primarily. I do personal training. I teach group fitness, specifically Zumba, and I teach a lot of strength classes and conditioning classes. I do a few things musically. I DJ. I have a friend who sings, and I'm his manager. So I have my foot in a couple different industries, if you will. And yeah, just doing that, enjoying that, and looking to grow and develop myself every day.
Yeah, you know what's crazy. I don't think you and I could have ever thought you would be where you are today doing what you're doing, but I have to say I actually watched some of your videos for Zumba and you're actually really fucking good, man. Like I saw there was something today and you were just like you actually like hit the beat when the beat dropped. Like you just knew when the song was happening and you could see the people in your class also reacting to the fact that you hit that beat drop. And you know, I don't watch a lot of Zumba, but I think that's a pretty special quality to have. But needless to say, how did you get into Zumba?
Uh, Kind of unintentionally. Um, Being in the fitness industry for over 10 years now and having a dance background, I don't know if your listeners know that you yourself are a very good salsa dancer. And so we both learned how to do Latin dance, and it's been a part of my background. So once people knew that about me, they recommended that I teach Zumba because I guess they figured, A plus B equals C. Oh, you already know how to salsa dance. Zumba is a Latin dance fitness class, so you'd be good at it just because of that. And I never saw myself as that because I didn't, from what I knew of Zumba and the people that I saw teaching it, I didn't feel like that was for me. I didn't feel like I fit that mold, if you will. I didn't feel like it was for me. Um, but when I was working in management and fitness, it kind of started by I had an instructor, well, a few that showed up late at times, but there was one in particular. She had an incident with her car. She couldn't arrive on time, and there was a class full of students waiting for the instructor, and there was no instructor. So I went in there because I was already working, and I put on some salsa music, and I just danced, and everyone followed me, and people really enjoyed it. And I did that maybe once or twice more, the same sort of fill in. And then I thought to myself, okay, if I'm going to keep doing this, I might as well get certified so that I could at least legitimately cover this class in an emergency situation. Because at the time, I was very into trying to cover my instructors whenever they needed. Like if there was an emergency, like if I knew how to do something, I could just pop in and do it since I was already there, just to keep things flowing. So I kind of approached it with that mindset, that I would just learn how to do it just to cover it, just in case, an instructor wasn't able to show up or there was an emergency. I wouldn't have to cancel class because I'd be there to be able to do it. So that's how I got into it. And 5 years later, I'm still doing
Like a good neighbor, Dean Seda is there.
it.
I
Yeah.
just came up. Yeah, I just had a random thought that our listeners might be like. I feel like the same person is talking because their voices sound exactly alike. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
We,
kind of
we,
wild.
we get that all the time. Side note, we've tried to alter our voices. It's just not biologically possible. This is the voices that we were given. And all the listeners out there, you're just going to have to enjoy hearing two of the same voices going back and forth.
Yeah, we're grateful for our voices. I know mom and dad are going to be listening, so many of the things that we're grateful for, our voices our voice is one of them. I don't know who says stuff like that, but anyway, yeah. You've been on this path with Zumba for a really long time now, and you've even gone on to create what I haven't seen before, and I don't think many people. I wasn't even sure if it existed before you created it. And you have an event that's called the Boys Event, and you've been doing it for almost a year
But
now, or was it
yeah,
already a
almost a
year?
year. Almost
That's
a
kind
year.
of
Yeah.
crazy. So, uh,
Mhm.
tell me what inspired you to come up with that concept.
Yeah. So just in case the boys listen to this, I want to include all of them because they each had a part in what it is today and contributed a lot to the growth of the boys. So sometimes it takes a village to build something sometimes. But the idea came from me last year. I was when we were still kind of isolated in our homes and things were virtual. I was watching my favorite artist, Dua Lipa. I was watching a virtual concert that she put together, and just in case you haven't seen it, it's pretty much an hour and a half long program, but it's more than just singing on a screen and then moving from song to song. There were so many different environments created and vibes and energies created with um, different costumes, different lighting, different music, different. It was kind of like a movie almost, and the music never stopped. There wasn't a pause. It just kept mixing into each other, and I was watching it and I was really enjoying it. And I thought to myself that, as I mentioned before, I DJ, so I know how to mix and blend songs. And I was like, why don't I create something where I can mix all of the songs together so that the class never stops? Because in Zumba, you do a song, it ends, and then that's it. You start the other song. I wanted to create something that continues, that feels like it's a party, that feels like you're kind of in a club, and having a great continuous time where the fun doesn't have to stop at all. And that you feel like you're on this ride of energy and you're part of a show. I wanted to create sort of like a Zumba show, and I thought that that would be a good opportunity and good something cool to try. I already had this group of guys that I've done things with in the past, and I shared the idea with them, and they were on board. And um, 1 year later, we're still doing it, and we're still developing it, and it's growing, and it's becoming something even more than I had imagined.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of these days I have to attend these events, but you always have them on days that I'm not available. And I think if you haven't grown up with a twin, which assuming is most of you, people are just going to be telling us apart the whole time and trying to get pictures with us standing in the middle. We call it a Seda sandwich. So
Uh,
basically, like think of yourself in between two twin boys. It's a trip. If you ever go to a wedding, we should definitely start charging for that though.
we already do. It's $5.
So with given the success of the boys event and the amount of time you've been doing Zumba for, it's been a long time now actually. What have you learned in the process in terms of your own personal growth and what people need after having done Zumba originally and now that you've been doing it? What do you feel like is missing and that you're trying to provide for them?
Well, for myself, I think what I've what I've learned from, I guess, Zumba specifically is I'm more creative than I thought I was. I think, uh, and we were raised the same way to, do well in school and focus a lot on, practical knowledge, things that are going to lead to a certain profession, something more secure. I feel that, creative outlets, creative employment, wasn't encouraged as we were growing up because it wasn't so secure. And, our family tried to promote security. And I understand that. But I've come to find that, what I create from a dance standpoint is, is good. I have talent in that. And I think I was reluctant to explore that because of, not being sure if it would be received well, not being sure if it was good enough or right. A lot of different doubts that I had. And, during the pandemic specifically, these past 2 years, I've had more time to create, and I've sat in thought and in creativity, and I've created, and people have enjoyed it. And uh, I'm just inspired to continue to create, and I think that's what I learned about myself is that I am creative, and I'm more motivated to create more than ever. Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's taught me a lot of things. I think with the creativity, I think I've learned that I I have a lot of courage. Because when you create something, you're kind of standing on a mountain on your own with your product, and you're putting it out there to be subjected to all kinds of opinions, scrutiny, judgment, celebration, a lot of different things. And it takes some courage to be able to stand on what you've created and believe in it, and continue to do it. Um, Irrespective of anybody's opinion. Um, One more thing about myself before I get to what it gives for other people. I've learned that I'm different, and that being different is okay. I think as much as I love Latin music, and that's the foundation of Zumba group fitness, I find myself doing a lot of pop music and a lot of alternative genres and rhythms. And it's not something that you see very often in a Zumba class or what people come to expect. And with that, it can be challenging sometimes to do it because some students expect Latin songs from start to finish. And if I'm doing a class where they're not going to get that, I run the risk of, not being liked or people not coming, this, that, or the other. So I think just recognizing that I'm different, and that I love that about myself. That's something that Zumba's kind of taught me, is that being different is okay. And I think that generally speaking, being different is okay. If your interests are different than others, if what you're into is not trending, that's okay. Doing you is okay. I think that's a main thing. In terms of what people need, and what I think that Zumba, or even what I provide, is, first of all, a community. I think that, when I teach virtually and I teach in person, and I think when people come to class, they feel connected to the students, to myself. We're creating an experience together, and I encourage that. I do my best to invite people to contribute to the experience, and feel like they're part of something. And I think everybody wants community, in some way, whether it's family, friends, a hobby, um, an interest. A community fulfills us. And I think that people enjoy that. And I think that's what I provide. And I think a lot of people need that. Um, I think just a place, an outlet, a place to let go, a place to let your inhibitions go. I think that's what I provide for people. For 1 hour, people can show up and, let their worries go, let, any kind of problems go, and just focus on enjoying dance, enjoying music, enjoying freedom of expression in a non-judgmental way. I think that's something that I curate in my classes that people really gravitate towards, and also happiness. I think you know it's important to find things in your day that make you happy, uh, especially here in the States. From the minute we wake up to the minute we go to sleep, we're working, we're doing something. What's next, and we're always looking for the next thing. I think my classes are a time to disconnect and focus on yourself and feeling joy. And I think that's a really important thing. And I know for sure that people feel that way in Zumba in general, and in my classes too. And that's why they enjoy coming. So yeah.
All right. I mean, I totally feel that. I have a strong community in my capoeira group, and that makes me feel very not accomplished, but I feel like I can lean on people. I feel like I have an outlet to be free to express myself within the confines of the sport, of course. So I totally feel that, and I've definitely seen a lot of growth in you as your brother being along this ride. And I really didn't ever think that Zumba would become anything in your life, and the fact that you've made it this far, and it's only just the beginning, it seems, for what's possible. It's really cool to be an observer to that growth. And you are
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
by
I
the way.
mean, I definitely didn't expect this, and I think that's one of the things about life is a lot of things happen to us that are unexpected. They could be good, they could be bad. It's all about your perception of it. And didn't expect Zumba to play this role, or for me to give what I've given to it and to have it give back to me in this way. Um, I feel fulfilled doing it, and I feel you know, I guess some people feel like they have callings to do certain things. I feel like Zumba was created 20 years ago. This feels like a calling for me. It feels like something that I do that I'm at least above average at, and that I'm passionate about, passionate at, talented to do, and have something to give to everybody. So yeah, so totally unexpected, and I do feel like there's a lot more to come, and um, stay tuned for that.
By the way, this is an unsolicited call to action to all ladies looking for a plus one to a wedding. This guy is guaranteed to spark up your party. By this guy, I mean Dean, not Jordan, even though our voices sound the same.
Jordan can spark up the party in different ways, on and off the dance floor. Mine is focused on. If you put a song on, I can lead your guests through a dance that everybody will enjoy.
Or he'll just be the first one on the floor and everyone's gonna follow him. Either
Yeah,
one.
that too. I can serve that purpose.
Yeah. See, we just talk about random stuff. That's
Yeah,
what we
we like to
do.
have fun here. Yeah, we like to have fun
Oh my god.
here.
Just a quick aside, your opinion. So we both support Arsenal Football Club in London. We've been following for me since 2010. You maybe around that time as well.
Mhm.
Uh, for the first time in many years, we are scraping the surface of getting into the Champions League. Do we get it done this year?
I do. I do believe we do get it done. And it's funny when I say we, as if I'm out there on the pitch, working hard and putting in the time. But I do feel connected to the club, and I do believe they're going to qualify for Champions League. For those listeners that aren't aware, the top four teams in the English Premier League receive a bid to the Champions League, which is a larger tournament throughout all the European leagues of the best teams. So yeah, I do believe Arsenal will be at least fourth, if not third, possibly.
Well, thank you, Dean. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's get back on track because some of the listeners don't care about soccer or football as they call it in the rest of the world. We talk a lot on my podcast about meeting fitness goals, meeting business goals. What would you say to our listeners is most important for them to stay focused on their goals?
Well, I would say the first thing is to find a purpose for the goals. Why do you have these goals? What is your purpose for having these goals? If you have a strong purpose, uh, the action that you take every day becomes easier. On the days where you're tired, the days where you might not have time, you find a way to do something that's in alignment with the goals that you set. So having a purpose, having a reason to have goals in the first place, is a strong motivator. And I think in regards to motivation, another thing I would say is creating goals that are important to you instead of goals that are very commonly thrown out there socially or externally. Oh, I want to lose weight, I want to get stronger, I want to get an ass. Like, if those are things that don't mean anything to you, you're not going to work hard towards them. You need to be motivated internally, and the only way you can do that is to have goals that matter to you, that matter to you. You could be quote unquote overweight. You don't have to want to lose weight. That does not have to be a goal just to please somebody else. Your goal could just be to feel better, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think when you break it down like that, it's easier to achieve. And speaking of making goals easier to achieve, um, I think creating achievable goals, small incremental achievable goals, will help you stay focused. Instead of saying like, oh, I need to lose 20 pounds in a month. If you say like, oh, my next goal is to lose 2 pounds, it doesn't really matter when it happens. 2 pounds in a week. All right. And then you hit that, and then that motivates you to continue to go, and it's achievable. You feel success, and success breeds momentum, and the momentum will keep you going towards your goal. So it's important to have goals that you can achieve, and experience wins, and then just create a positive feedback loop that's going to help you continue to achieve goals. So create goals that matter, create goals that are achievable. Maybe some listeners have heard of the SMART acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive. Making goals like that make it easier to pursue and achieve the goals, for most importantly.
I might have heard of that acronym before, but I've actually never utilized it in my dialogue with clients or in life. So I even learned something, and I've known you for like up my life. So
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
know,
cool.
I know a little bit. It's a, we in structuring a program, we always focus on the end result, but we don't always focus on the path there. And I think creating micro goals within a larger goal is a great way to motivate somebody to experience success throughout the process and continue to get them motivated to keep pushing towards that goal. And not have it feel like this mountain to climb, but perhaps just a small anthill.
I had to do the visual for the small anthill really quick, but yeah, that is a considerably smaller obstacle to climb than a mountain.
Right.
But yeah, so I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to hear where people could reach you, because I don't want a million DMs from people trying to reach you through me. I have other stuff to do. So where can they hit you up at?
There's a few ways. If you have social media, um, you can find me on Instagram at Dean_Seda. So my last name is the same as his, so that makes it easy. DEAN. So you can find me there. Feel free to message me. You could also contact me through my website, deanseda.com, where you can find information on my personal training, Zumba, and even DJ services. And you could send me a message through there as well. Those are the two primary ones. If you have Facebook, you could connect my Facebook business page. You could find me at Dean Seda, and you could connect with me there too.
People, we have a Swiss Army knife of fitness and excitement on the podcast right now. So, if you're looking for personal training, if you're looking to spice up your life with some DJing at a party, I already said the wedding thing, so you already know that's a thing. If you want somebody to teach Zumba for an organization, whether it be like a one time event or a more constant thing, it's hard for me to admit that Dean is more talented, but I'm doing it on the record that Dean is more talented than I am.
uh,
So do reach out to him if you need any of those services, or if you just want a cool dude to chat shop with. He's pretty transparent, and I don't know. I still find reasons to get together with him, so I think he's all right.
yeah, and I enjoy spending time with you too, bro.
Oh my God, let's try not to be too sappy on. Do you have any final words you'd like to tell our listeners before we sign off?
um, I feel like this could have been like a 2-hour podcast, but I really appreciate you guys um, tuning in. I hope that you gained something from my experience, my recollections, my perceptions on goals and achieving them. Um, and yeah, anytime you want to reach out, you can. I'm happy to assist you in any way possible. Um, just what's happened to me is been so unexpected. I was working full time and I lost my job at the beginning of the pandemic, and I did what I knew, and now it's turned into something that's sustainable and enjoyable, and it's growing. And with the support of people like Jordan and other people in my network, who knows what's in store. But I appreciate all of your support, and also the support that you give to Jordan, who's doing great things in PT, especially in Manhattan and beyond. And just keep growing, keep learning, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my 2 cents.
Speaking of 2 cents, it's extra, and actually an extra 2 minutes of wisdom that you're offering people by virtue of being 2 minutes older as of 2020, which we'll save for another podcast episode. So you're wiser, you're taller, and better looking. So I'm just in awe of you and everything that you do. So thank you for setting an example for who I aspire to be.
You're already great in many ways, but I'll take the compliment always.
All right. Anyway, that's all we have today, beautiful people. I again want to thank Dean for his time and insight. Now get out there and make shit happen.
We're going to health and back.